Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're talking about keyframes. As a beginner, have you wondered how these professional video editors make smooth animations, zooms, and seamless transitions? The secret thing there is just keyframe. As a beginner that uses CapCut and you want to take your editing skills to the next level, why not stay with me? Because in today's video, I'll be breaking down keyframes in the simplest way and teach you at least 4 ways to use keyframes in CapCut. Welcome back. Let me not waste much of your time because we have a lot to unpack in this video. So I want you to know that keyframes are just those indicators that tells CapCut the point to add animations, zooms, transitions in our video. Get to understand that better in the tutorial. There are 4 ways you can use keyframes in your video. So the first one is for zooms. We already know that we are using our mobile phone for this particular tutorial, and we can use keyframes to zoom in and zoom out in our videos in CapCut. And I want you to take note of this finger movement because it will help us after we have learned about keyframes. So for you to zoom in after adding keyframes, of which I will teach later, you use your index finger and your thumb to zoom in on the screen of your phone. Then for you to zoom out, you pinch your screen out, that is for zoom out, on the screen of your phone with your index finger and your thumb. So the second thing you can do on CapCut using keyframe is color grading. You can change the color of a particular point of your video to black or any other color of your choice, while the rest of the video bears another color. Then the third thing you can do with keyframes on CapCut is volume adjustment. You can increase and decrease the volume of your videos. Maybe at a particular point you want the volume of your video to be very loud, and at a particular point it will decrease. You can do that by adding keyframe. It also applies to background music. Maybe the intro of your video, you want it to be very low, and at a particular point you made emphasis, you want it to go so high. You can also do that by using keyframes. Then so the fourth use of these keyframes in CapCut or in video editing is to regulate the movement of your overlays, pictures, text, or emojis on the screen of your videos. Let's say this subscribe button just pops up, right? And I want my subscribe green screen to move maybe from here it is now and leave the screen. I just did that with keyframe. Don't waste much of your time. Let's go right into the tutorial and let me teach you all these I've just said. Now we are in CapCut, and this keyframe we've just been hearing about is when you highlight on your video that you want to edit, the keyframe appears on top of the video you want to edit. This diamond shaped symbol that has a plus sign on top of it. So how does this keyframe work? When the keyframe has plus on it, that means you have not added it to your video, but when it has minus, it means it has already been added to your video. So let me click on it. You see it has been added, and when I take the regulator on top of it, you see now it now bears minus, and when I remove it from it, it turns plus again because I've not added it to this particular point. So if I add it again, on top of it turns minus plus. That's just how it works. I want to zoom in and zoom out in my video. Maybe I'm making emphasis in my video. So how do I do that? Let's play this video so that we'll take a particular point of this video and zoom in and zoom out. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we'll be talking about keyframe. So let's say this place I said we'll be talking about keyframe that I want to do what zoom in. What am I going to do now? I'll go to the beginning of this video and add a keyframe. Why did I add keyframe at the beginning of this video? When you don't add the keyframe to the beginning of this video, you will see that when you zoom in with your index finger and your thumb, everything in this video automatically zooms in, and that is not what we want, right? We just want that particular point to zoom in. Let me show you an instance of what I'm saying. Let me remove the keyframe. Now I've removed it, and let's say I want to zoom in at that point and I didn't add keyframe to the beginning. Let's say I just come to that place that said keyframe and add a keyframe and zoom. You see that the video, everything is zoomed, but that is not what we want. Do you see that? So what we're going to do is remove this keyframe, and the video is now how it was initially. So what are we going to do? We're going to add keyframe to the beginning. For that point we said keyframe. Wait, keyframes. Talking about keyframe. So that place we said talking about, we'll do what? Add a keyframe, right? Why do we add keyframe before that place? To hold this video to this point, telling CapCut that this particular point, that is where we want you to hold from here to here. Do you get it now? Then when we said keyframe, do you get? I will now use my index finger and my thumb and do what? Zoom in. You can adjust it, you can move it this way, you can bring it this way, whichever one you want. Then what am I going to do? Now I have done this, you see that the keyframe has been added by itself. I didn't add it by myself, it was added by itself. You can try it in CapCut later. So let's play this video so you see what I'm saying. Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we'll be talking about keyframes. Can you see it? Immediately from the beginning it didn't show that I added anything. Can you see? It was talking normally till it got to this point that is zoomed. Can you see? Then let's say after it I want to now zoom out. After I said keyframe, or just here maybe, what I'm going to do now is to add a keyframe, right? And after it I'll do what? Use my index finger and my thumb and pinch it back in. So if you pinch it and it's a little bit faulty, you can use the hand and adjust it well so that it can fit in properly. So now I've adjusted mine. Let's play the video about keyframes. Can you see? It just enters perfectly. So you see that we have done the first use of keyframe, zoom in and zoom out effect. Let's go to the next one. Let's use keyframe for color grading. As I told you earlier in the zoom effect, now we are going to add keyframe to the beginning of the video to hold this video. So let's say this part of this video, this 00.02, we want this part to maybe be in black and others who be the normal color of this video. What are we going to do? We are going to add a keyframe, right? Then we'll shift this regulator close to the tip of that diamond. Now we're going to come to edit, down, and look for adjust. So let's say I want it all black. I'm going to click on saturation and do what? Shift it to black, and a keyframe has been added. Once you know what you're doing, keyframe will add by itself. So now let's play the video. You see from here. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, you see that the color of this automatically changed. You see, it will be all black all through till I decide to change it. So now at this point I don't want it to be black anymore. What am I going to do? I'll add a keyframe so that I'll tell CapCut that from this place to this place I want it black, and from here I want it to change. Can you see it's still in black? Now I will now come and go back to this adjust and change it back to 0. A keyframe will add by itself. It will show that I know what I'm doing. So from here to here it is changing color to changes to black. Then from here it is changing color to it gets to the normal color. That is basically it. Now let's increase and decrease the volume of this particular video now. So what are we going to do? I'm going to increase this video now to the highest. Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel. So now I've increased this video to the highest. What am I gonna do now? Let's say at the beginning of this video the video is so loud, and at this point I want to decrease my video, this 00.02. What am I going to do now? I'll come to the beginning like I taught you guys earlier and add a keyframe, right? And I come to the 00.02 and do what? Ratio 02. I will now come and add a keyframe, right? Now come to the tip of this diamond, do what? Go to edit, then volume, and reduce the volume drastically, and a keyframe is added by itself. If you know what you are doing, like I said, a keyframe will add by itself. So now let's say the video is playing and it gets to this point, I want to increase it back to 1000. Do you get? Now we add a keyframe again, then here I'll do what? Look for volume again, click on volume and increase it back. So now let's listen to it. To the channel. So today's video will be talking about keyframes. As a beginner, can you see at this point I was not hearing anything again. It was very low, and this point increased again. So easy peasy. Now let's make use of the background music I just added in this video. So let's say in our background music we want maybe the intro of this video to be very low, and at a certain point it will increase like you see in some videos. So now we are going to add keyframe like I said at the beginning of this video. Now it shows us the volume of the video already. So we are going to do what? Shift this to the tip of the diamond and decrease it drastically, and a keyframe has been added. Like I say, if you know what you're doing, a keyframe will add by itself. So now let's say till this point, and now want the volume of the background music to increase. So we're going to do what? Add a keyframe, then close to it. It will show us the origin, the one I decreased by myself. Then close to it, and I want the background music to increase again. Then I'll come here and increase it again. So now let's listen to the background music to the channel. So today's video will be talking about keyframes. As a beginner, can you see how it increased? At the beginning it was very low, then at some point it increased. Very simple. Let's go to the fourth use of keyframe. So let's make use of this my picture I overlaid on this video. Like I said, you can use overlays. So on the overlay, not on the main video, you add a keyframe, right? And let's say at this particular point I finished describing whatever I want to describe on this overlay, and I want it to leave the screen, right? So by itself, once I push this picture or this overlay to leave the screen, a keyframe will be added. Do you get? But there's something I want you guys to discover in this particular movement or action. Watch the video to the channel. So today's video will be talking about keyframes. Can you see that I've not even finished talking? The picture is already leaving the screen, and that is not what we want, right? What we want is from here to here, the picture will be there. Then immediately it gets to this point, the picture starts leaving, right? That is what we want. So remove this keyframe, and like I told you guys earlier, add a keyframe. Then beside it, do what? Push the overlay to leave the screen, and a keyframe is added. Let's watch to the channel. So today's video will be talking about keyframes. Can you see the simple difference? Now let's say that I don't want this overlay to be too fast to leave the screen. What are we going to do now? We're going to remove this keyframe. Then let's say from this point I'll move this a bit, add a keyframe, push it, move it, a keyframe has been added. That's how I'll be moving it, because I don't want it to move too fast. That way it will move too fast. That way to move too fast. Maybe at this point to now like entirely leave. Let's watch it. Video will be talking about keyframes. As a beginner, you've been seeing professional video editors see how it was moving slowly. So all these things are just keyframes. Let me add a text. So let's use this please subscribe. Yes, please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed. Yes, so let's use this please subscribe. Now, like I told you guys earlier, add a keyframe at the beginning of please subscribe. Then at this point I want this please subscribe to start leaving the screen. Let me make it a bit little. I want this please subscribe to start leaving, maybe from the right or from the left. You can do anyone. A keyframe has been added because you see I'm pushing it. At this point I now want this please subscribe to leave the screen gradually. Then I'll push it with my hand and it leaves the screen. So now let's play the video to the channel. So today's video will be talking about keyframes. As a beginner, you've been seeing professional everything, it just left the screen. So easy peasy. I hope you learned something from this video. Now you can go ahead and use keyframes in your videos. I just hope you learned something from this particular video. So thank you so much for watching my videos to this point. I really appreciate. If you know you learned one or two things from this video, you can tell me in the comment section. Or if you want a particular tutorial that you want me to teach you, maybe some other creators you didn't understand it better, you can drop also in the comment section and I'll go through it and do the tutorial for you. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this YouTube channel, please, for more tutorials like this. Till next time, I'm still Chimadika Blessing, and